G'day guys, this is Holy Critic, and today I've decided to grace my presence before you all for the first time in this channel's history because I've been inspired by a recent series of events that probably a lot of you Americans will already know about, but it's completely captured my imagination as an outsider, as an Australian. It's completely captured my imagination and given me a great amount of respect for the performance art involved in acting. And because today is, well, the Academy Awards are on tonight, I thought I would do a little analysis of a performance that I believe has earned an Academy Award. And it's by a small-time actor named Jussie Smollett. I think that's how I pronounce it. Maybe I got that botched. All right, I'm being silly here, but Jussie Smollett, if you don't already know, was the perpetuator of a hoax where he claimed that he had a hate crime committed upon him by a group of white supremacist Trump supporters, Make America Great people. They apparently beat him up at 2 a.m. outside a Chicago subway. And a lot of the media lapdogs just bit into it and bought the whole kit and caboodle. And then it comes to find out that it was all a hoax. He paid a couple of Nigerian guys to just rough him up a bit so he could get what would possibly be the gain? Well, I think it was to further his career in Hollywood, because what I've come to understand about Hollywood is they really, really love the victim. And he thought he could play not only the race card, but also the victim card, and that would give him a privilege enough to get a bigger role in Hollywood, a higher paying role, which is really disturbing and emblematic of the times we live in. But today I just wanted to have a look solely at the interview he did on ABC to show you the range of what do you call it, acting range from anger to embitterment to sadness. It was a great performance, and a lot of people took it hook, line and sinker. And I just want to try a little commentary on what my little interpretation of what I see. All right, so let's have a little look at this. I'll skip through it. I won't watch the whole thing, so don't worry about that.
What is it that has you so angry? Is it the attackers?
It's the attackers, but it's also the attacks. It's like, at first it was a thing of like, listen, if I tell the truth, then that's it, because it's the truth. Mm-hmm. Then it became a thing of like, oh, how can you doubt that? Like, how do you not believe that? It's the truth. And then it became a thing of like, oh, it's not necessarily that you don't believe that this is the truth. You don't even want to see the truth.
What happened that night, Jussie?
So, you can't challenge Jussie's series of events, his interpretation of what happened to him, because he speaks the truth. He says he's speaking the truth, so you just have to believe him. It's a great way to set up the interview here, where to basically pin it on anybody who is critical of what he said must have some prejudice towards him, which is completely a lie, but it's great the way he sets it up to start the interview, so you're basically discredited for challenging anything that he says throughout the rest of the interview. All right, so we'll continue on here and say what else he says. I'll just skip into it a little bit here. Okay, we'll start here.
Why did you hesitate to want to call the police?
There's a level of pride there. We live in a society where, as a gay man, you were considered somehow to be weak. And
I didn't mention that earlier, did I? I said he's going to play the race card, the victim card. He's also going to play the gay card as a marginalized member of society. So that's 3 boxes ticked already, all right, guys?
I'm not weak. I am not weak. And we, as a people, are not weak. So, I can accept that there was pride there. There's also privacy, at the end of the day.
Really, really good performance so far. And I like the fact that he's using emotive language, but he's also sort of choking back, and you can hear him choking back, and he's trying to suppress and he's even doing this to show I'm crying, I'm on the border of just bawling my eyes out, and he's just kind of like hinting at it, and that's really brilliant as an actor. He's obviously learned his craft well.
Look what has happened. Look what has happened. So I'm glad that Frank called the police.
All right, so we'll skip into it a little bit more here. Go to 6 minutes. See how the performance improves.
Feels like if I had said it was a Muslim or a Mexican or someone black.
He's playing on the prejudicial views again. Really smart here. He's saying, oh, well, if the majority of Americans think I'm lying, well, would you be the same if it was a Muslim or a black like myself doing the attack? Or are you only criticizing me because it's people like you, racists like you, white people? Really smart there. He's incriminating all of us in this.
I feel like the doubters would have supported me a lot more. And that says a lot about the place that we are in our country right now. The fact that we have these fear mongrels, these people that are trying to separate us, and it's just not okay.
Who are those people that are trying to separate us? Who are those people? They wouldn't happen to be the people that beat him up, which is the MAGA supporters, the Trump supporters. Would it, Jussie?
It's just not okay. And for all of the people, the next time that you see someone report something, maybe well after the fact that it happened, and you say to them, well, why you wait until now? Just remember that mine was reported right away. And look what has happened.
The phone.
Yeah, it was reported very quickly, actually. A little bit too quickly, as I'll show you at the end of this video. A bit too quickly. People jumped on it a little bit too much, injecting their own biases, their own judgment before all the facts had been presented. All right, let's continue up to the end here. Let's go to this part.
Over it.
And there is no doubt in your mind what motivated this attack.
I could only go off of their words. I mean, who says empire, this MAGA country, ties a noose around your neck and pours bleach on you?
Who does that? Who does those things? I don't know anybody who does those things. Do you know anybody who does those things? Because I wouldn't certainly be friends with them. I wouldn't hang out with them. So who is he incriminating here? Because if it's people who voted for Trump, gosh, there's a lot of white supremacists ruling the nation of America. It's a bit concerning, yeah. Very dire, the circumstances.
And this is just a friendly fight. I will never be the man that this did not happen to. I am forever changed.
I'm sure he is. Forever changed.
And I don't subscribe to the idea that everything happens for a reason, but I do subscribe to the idea that we have the right and the responsibility to make something meaningful out of the things that happen to us, good and bad.
A meaning out of the things that happen to us. Yeah, I can derive a lot of meanings about the character of Jussie Smollett. I can derive a lot of things, but I'll hold my judgments to the end.
What do you feel people need to hear the most from this story?
I think that what people need to hear is just the truth.
The truth will set you free.
It's just the truth, because everybody has their own idea. Some are healing and some are hurtful. But I just want young people, young members of the LGBTQ community, young black children to know how strong that they are, to know the power that they hold in their little pinky.
He wants the support of Americans to get behind him as the victim, as the marginalized. In a racist America ruled by Donald Trump. Okay. And did you notice one thing? He had all these badges down the side of it. I just wonder if I can get that in the shot there. Oh, wait a minute. Come on. See those badges down the side of his jacket there? He's got a rainbow flag. He's got a fist like this. I think that might be, what is that, Black Lives Matter? He's shown all his credentials on him to show how much of an important person he is, how much he means to those groups, all right? All right, we'll skip to the end now because this is where he really drives home the point. He really brings in the tears, the crocodile tears, to really get you to feel for him, all right? So we'll just skip to that, which is a little later on. Okay, let's watch this last bit where he ends the interview on a high. Really, this is the Academy Award-winning scene, if you want to put it like that. This is what got the critics to really revile his performance.
If the attackers are never found, how will you be able to heal?
Remember, he doesn't want the attackers to be found because he paid them. Oh, by the way, there's the badges. I don't know. That's what's that one with the? I don't know. Skipping it anyway.
I don't know. Let's just hope that they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not go there yet. Let's I was talking to a friend and I said, I just want them to find them. And she said, sweetie, they're not gonna find them. And that just made me so angry because so I'm just gonna be left here with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just gonna be left here with like, so they get to go free.
Oh, I'm sorry. You can see why I think this is the best performance of the year, and I think I'm being satirical here, but fantastic. I don't blame people for supporting him, getting behind him, because this guy is a great actor, and it's a shame that he's going to spend the next 3 years in prison because he could have gone on to have a really solid career and he could have won many awards. So I just want to quickly look at some of the celebrities who got behind him based on this performance. So you've got actors like Halle Berry. I don't know who these people are. Oh look, he's even wearing a shirt that says "Truth" on it. So he's telling the truth. You can't get critical of that. He wears the truth on his shoulder. You know what I mean? You know, you got all these black actors. Katy Perry. Wow, she's going to virtue signal as well. What does she say? Sending love to Jussie for a racist hate crime. And it's disgusting and shameful in our country. You should be disgusted and ashamed of yourself for living in America, a place where white supremacists roam around the streets with a noose and some bleach and are ready to attack black people. That's the America we live in. It's an America where actors like this say this.
We have a media that's saying it's a debate whether or not what just happened to Jussie Smollett is a hate crime. It's absurd.
It's absurd to question the narrative. It's absurd, absolutely absurd. But how, I mean, I'm living in Australia, so we're not quite dealing with these issues, but how did America get to this place right now where it's so divided like this? And people are so willing to jump on the victim card, jump on the race card, jump on the minority card. Why has that become a badge of honor? Why? Well, I actually saw, lastly, just before I end this, I saw from CNN of all people, they actually got a pundit to explain why we got to this state right now. So let's just have a look at this.
Should acknowledge. Well, at a minimum, there were people who I've talked to people off camera. I've talked to people sort of in green rooms who were skeptical, who had questions about this story, were afraid to raise those concerns because of the intersectional nature of this particular accusation. And there are plenty of circumstances like that. And that is something that we have to be aware of. When there are stories that involve very sensitive issues of race and sexuality, and there are accusations and allegations that are being made, when you raise questions about those allegations, it is often the case that people will raise questions about your motivations. Look, I am talking about these stories. I'm talking about the merit of a particular charge. And at the end of the day, it's whether or not that charge has merit that matters. And Robin Robbins, in that conversation, in that interview, had an opportunity to say, you know, just there are practical reasons for someone to ask questions about something like this that have nothing to do with your race or your sexuality. She didn't do that, and there are far too many instances.
So what he's saying is, look at the facts, look at the evidence, be objective. And what haven't we seen for the last month is an objective media. We've seen subjective claims, we've seen emotive arguments, we've seen straw men, we've seen deflections. Why? Why are we in this state? Why is the media like this? Is the media really fake news? Are they that easily manipulated? Why are they so quick to rush to a judgment? Why? Maybe you guys can tell me in the comments. But I'm just going to end this video on a quote, which I think is very poignant to the point of this video. So the following quote comes from the English philosopher Sir Francis Bacon, and he wrote that, "So whoever shall entertain high and vaporous imaginations, instead of a laborious and sober inquiry of the truth, shall beget hopes and beliefs of strange and impossible shapes." Sounds pretty relevant to the story you've just seen. Now, guys, I want to ask you the question. I want to put it on you. Did you buy the performance? Did it move you emotionally? At the time, if you saw it back then or now? What are your views on it, guys? Do you think we should trust people on the value of their words or on the sober inquiry of the truth and the facts? Because I find that with a lot of the media today, it's shifting opinions on very divisive topics like racism based on anecdotal evidence, interviews, first-person perspectives, but we never actually get to see the true hard evidence, something that would be presentable in a court. It's all opinions and interpretations, and it's fairy, it's up in the air. So guys, tell me what you think. Please give this video a big thumbs up, because I might do more of these videos in the future based on the movie-related trending topics of the day. So stick around, please subscribe, and this is Holy Critic, signing out.